are the Heat right now on bringing back Dwayne Wade because they have to secure him as well?
Well, they do have to secure him, and it's all but a formality, really, at this point. I mean, Dwayne's going to talk to other teams, but he has not wavered at all in this process. He has said so many times he wants to be in Miami. Miami's his home. He wants to stay here another 6 years. Miami's his in-season home. Of course, Chicago being the off-season one. As long as the Heat make moves, as long as they make roster upgrades, was the only caveat Dwayne has put on this. With the sort of cap space they have, of course the Heat's going to make roster upgrades. They can't help but make roster upgrades, which would seem to satisfy Dwayne's only requirement for staying.
Well, the cap space is a big part of this, and we talked about the cap space in Chicago as well as the situation with the Knicks. It appears that things are in order with the Heat as well. How much would they have left if they were to sign Wade and bring Bosh in as well?
Well, they would have enough for Wade and Bosh, along with some other serviceable players. Of course, some really good quality players. You hear things like, will they take a run at Rudy Gay? You hear things like that. They want to keep Udonis Haslem, who's a Dwayne Wade favorite. There are some guys out there who would certainly help them, even if they sign two maxes. The question is, Jay, what happens if they sign Wade and two other superstars to go with him? They would still have to make more moves to make that happen, which is why all this talk that it's all set, that Chris and LeBron are both coming to Miami with Dwayne, absolutely impossible right now. Miami is millions away from the cap space on that front.
All right, there you go. You have it from Tim. He covers the Heat. He knows the situation very well. We appreciate your look at the Miami Heat's efforts to bring LeBron to Miami. Tim, thanks.
Thank you, Jay.
Reish?
Jay, our last stop as we go around the horn on the LeBron watch is, of course, New Jersey. And for the latest on the Nets, we bring in their beat writer for the New York Daily News, Julian Garcia. And Julian, we know what Chicago, New York, and Miami have to offer. What's the selling point for New Jersey?
Well, I mean, I think they take the approach, obviously at this point, everybody knows about Mikhail Prokhorov. You have this new owner in who's got billions of dollars. He's looking to win. He's looking to make the team a global brand. So I think that's, first and foremost, right off the top, that's the selling point. But also, a young roster with some very, very good parts, especially Brook Lopez. So, the Russian owner with billions of dollars, a young roster with a potential all-star center, and then, of course, down the road, the move to Brooklyn. I mean, that's another big point that they're going to try to sell on them. So I think they have some things working in their favor.
What, if any, role is Jay-Z playing? It seems like he may have changed his previous stance.
Yeah, I mean, you heard a lot from him. Hey, I'm going to let LeBron do what he wants to do. We're just friends. I mean, I think obviously you would expect Jay-Z to be, to be on the plane on Wednesday night or Thursday night or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And hey, and the guy's a mega superstar. He's probably one of the most famous, pop culture icons in the world. Jay-Z, I'm talking about. And you would expect that he would play a significant role in this. I mean, they are friends. I mean, why would he not?
Right.
What would hurt that? I mean, he's not going to offend LeBron by saying, "Look, why don't you come play for the Nets?" I mean, I don't see what could, what damage could be done there. So I don't see why he wouldn't take an active role in recruiting them.
Hey, it certainly cannot help to try, right? We've talked about the positives for all of these different places. However, there is that negative side of things. What do the Nets feel is their biggest hindrance that they have to overcome?
Well, I think the fact that they're not in Brooklyn yet, which is quite honestly something that I don't know if I agree with. I mean, a lot of people are saying, hey, they're going to be in Newark for 2 seasons, and LeBron's not going to want to play in Newark. And my question to that is, well, why not? I mean, no offense, and I said this in the media room last year at one point after a game against Cleveland, and I think somebody did get offended. But, he's played for 6-7 years in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. And, look at Newark. I mean, Newark is 15 minutes outside of Manhattan. And it has a lot to offer. It's in, one of the greatest areas to live in the world, in my opinion. And but I mean, I do think that the Nets consider that a weak point for them, and they're going to try to have to, they're going to have to work hard to kind of work around that. And I think, just the fact that they're coming off a 12-70 season. I mean, they obviously have more pieces to fill than just LeBron. If they get LeBron, that's great, but hey, what else is there going to be?
Well, with regards to location, let's face it, even the Meadowlands is not that far. It's a quick hop over the river, so exactly. Location is, I don't think, as big of a deal as people would like to think. Julian Garcia, Nets beat writer with the New York Daily News, thank you so much for your insight.
Thank you.
Well, I highly doubt that the conversation with LeBron is over. Let's send things over to Jay and our First and 10 crew.
Well, Skip will tell you that the conversation about LeBron hasn't even begun yet because he hasn't weighed in. And normally, Skip gets the honor of being introduced first, but you'll understand why in a second. We're going to hold you for a second. Stephen Bardo, our good friend, is in with us, and Chris Broussard is here to help us with the LeBron talk.
I'll just shut up over here and say nothing. I'll just go along for the ride.
Yeah, because we have the expert in the house.
His worst nightmare. His worst nightmare.
But the reason I hold your introduction, Skip, is because it takes a little while. Skip had correctly predicted the winner of the first 6 games of the NBA Finals.
Oh, so we're going back to that?
Yes, we are. Because
and who was up 13 points midway through the third quarter?
You didn't dodge that bullet just because we were off last week. Let's roll the videotape. This is video from the Lakers parade. Skip was hating on the Lakers and, of course, picked the Celtics to win it all. And here you go, Skip, spotted in the parade.
Is that real?
ESPN First Take Skip Bayless. Please keep Laker hating while Laker Nation keeps celebrating. There you go. You made the Lakers parade.
So I get a gold ball for motivating the Lakers?
I think you did because, man, you were hard on the crew, and they responded big with a Game 7 win. You were this close to looking like an NBA genius, but no one remembers the loser.
I think in this case they do remember the loser.
Let's do our 10 topics today. They're good. We're going to start with LeBron, and there seems to be a lot of credence to this report that he's headed to the Chicago Bulls. When you look at their cap space and everything else, they did a lot to clear room for him. If he goes to Chicago, the big thing is, wow, he's playing in Michael Jordan's shadow. Good idea for LeBron to go to Chicago? Steven, we'll start with you.
I don't think it matters, guys, because the NBA has hitched their future on the future of LeBron James. He's out. His name is out there. It's so big that I think it doesn't matter that Jordan's statue is in front of the United Center. It was already defaced with Blackhawks paraphernalia when they won the Stanley Cup. So, I mean, the luster is off the statue.
All right.
But with LeBron, he's so big, he garners so much attention that I don't think it really matters. And it's a challenge for him. I quite frankly think that he wants to go in and show that he can play in the same building that Michael built.
Look, it's been 12 years since Jordan's last championship. So much of this younger generation, obviously they know Michael Jordan, but they don't remember all those championships. They don't remember watching him. The statue outside the United Center, there's a statue outside of the Staples Center of Magic Johnson, but Kobe Bryant's playing there, and that's fine. LeBron can go there and, you know, win a ring, couple rings, and the people in Chicago will be hyped up. You know, with this team that they have in place, they would have a chance, I think, to win multiple championships. So I don't think it's a problem. Larry Bird went to Boston and won 3 rings. He didn't win 11 like Bill Russell. You know, Shaq went to L.A., won 3 rings. He didn't win 5 like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So I think LeBron will be fine going there as long as he wins some rings.
Okay, wait a second. Did you just put LeBron in the same breath with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson? Why?
I'm making a statement.
Well, we knew that Chris was on LeBron's inner circle.
3 were the face of the league at some point in time, Larry and Magic, and now LeBron is the face of the league, whether
I
you want to admit it or not.
didn't say he was those guys equal at this point. I said Larry Bird won 3 rings, not 11, and nobody held it against Larry Bird that he didn't come close to winning what Bill Russell did.
So you're saying LeBron is capable of going to the house that Michael built and winning 3, 4, 5, 6 rings?
Yes.
Yeah, but we got a yes. We got that on tape. Okay, well, I got to tell you.
He's not capable. Why isn't he capable? Why isn't he capable?
This would be, for LeBron James, the single biggest mistake he can make in his entire career, even bigger than choosing